Yeah.
Right. So we're it. This is official. We're officially doing the show, and Sean is gone. Jay Kunis,
What up, brother?
You and me are co-hosting. This is a
That's what I
live
hear.
Stoner Morning show, and if people's never seen this show, this is a bunch of comics who are advocates of marijuana and who love smoking pot and other things besides pot. But we also don't encourage you to do anything that's not legal. So why do we do that? So that we don't have to deal with legalities of your bullshit because you fucked up and you're trying to pull us into your nonsense. We just want to have fun and entertain people and smoke. Jay, let me tell you, the lighting in your thing, I'm a big fan because I've always wanted to live in an aquarium. And I feel like you're living in an aquarium now.
Dude, did you hear about what's going on the dark side of the moon?
No.
That there's a cute the Chinese rover caught a picture of a
I have
of a cube.
Sorry, I'm listening.
Of a cube off in the distance on the dark side of the moon.
They have a cube? Wait, a picture of a cube? Or wait, there's a cube.
Giant cube on the dark side of the moon.
Is there any photography to base your list on?
I'll see if I can bring up the picture if you want to keep talking.
So what do you? Yeah, please. I mean, this is what I have a theory about life and how this universe works because I mean, it's so weird that we're in this we joke about being in the Matrix or in some kind of like reality, and the more I believe that we're able to create way more than we like to admit, even
Absolutely.
some stuff that doesn't make sense. And, only 60 years ago, 70 years ago, was there even conversation about extraterrestrials and UFOs. I mean, that's all in this last 100 years. And now from it going to sightings to like abductions to like literal film. I mean, the world of cell phones, and videos that we have in our hands all the time, I think there's proof that there's no ghosts because there's people filming stuff all the time and you just don't see it. We've seen that for 100 years, people trying to prove like mythical, magical nonsense. And right. You can't, and the more there's cell phones, there's more proof of people doing shenanigans. But the more that we have video, there's more proof that aliens are around and that kind of stuff. And that is really, to me, interesting. I almost wonder if we're like willing this into existence.
So that's what it looks like from the that's the dark side of the moon. They said it. I don't know. It's. I think it's like. It's got to be like more than like 100 miles from them or something like that.
From them? Who's them?
Yeah.
Who are they? Like a rover?
Well, the rover. The rover. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Interesting. What do you think it is, right? Jay?
I think it's Schrodinger's box. That's where he left it.
Yeah, all right. We talked about those mushrooms that were on Mars and nothing's come of it. It's so weird that it takes so long to find out what's going on with these things. Do you think that, that's the thing that sucks about dying most of all, besides like not living, is unanswered questions. Like when I die, I won't know really who JFK got killed by, or if Jesus ever lived on Earth, or Bigfoot, if there was ever a type of animal that was Bigfoot, or some kind of sentient being like that. And aliens, I want to know these things. These are more than if somebody told me you die tomorrow, but you get to know you get all your answers answered, all your questions answered, I might go for it.
Well, if you like rejoin the whole great scope of things, if that's how it works,
into the hive.
Then maybe you will know everything from there on out.
I feel like that's a trick though, because it would be nice, but I think the entity that is Lex is disappeared once spilled back into the universal consciousness. I like I think I said the analogy before is like, it's like a cup of water getting dumped into the ocean.
Yes.
Like no longer. Yeah. And so that's kind of bummer, but I don't know. I mean, that's the thing.
But the ocean's going to be a whole lot cooler with Lex in it.
Yeah, it is. Thanks, Jay. They're like, oh, the party starts again. I love it. I don't know if you've ever listened to Alan Watts, but
I was just listening to him yesterday.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Cool. He talks about God, and if you're like God in the universe, and like if you make this world to like exist in and like bounce around and explore, while you're playing that game of being something not God, it's a game, just like when we play video games. So the stakes are lower, right? And you can just jump off a cliff, or you make a move like Super Mario and it doesn't work out, and then you just start over again. And so the real test to be a game, like if you're God and you really want to raise the stakes, the only way you can do that is to tell yourself you're not God. And you don't have all the powers that you have as God, the creator. And you put yourself into a meat body like Lex Morales or Jay Cunis, and you say go until you die. And then all of a sudden you die, and then you come back and you're like, oh man, that was kind of crazy. That was intense. That's a cool thought. I like that.
Hey, we got some comments. Don reminded me. Thank you, Don. Eric Olive says, I think
nice.
I think it's it just disappeared. I think the thing on the moon is Elon Musk's evil lair. So definitely.
Now, Jay, Eric is a comic that I met out here, and I haven't seen him as much. I saw him, before COVID. We met a couple of times, but he's been talking like. I just found out recently that he's as aware of like the metaverse as I am. And by the way, your camera's.
I'm sorry.
It's just a big J. It's all good.
I got to sign back. Oh, there it is.
And boom. So I'm so excited because me in that world. I want to be a cartoon doing stand up in a virtual reality. I find it so interesting. Or even too, what's next also too, because that's like the world is the AR, not virtual reality, but altered reality. And that's I feel like that's more of a reality that we don't even know about what's going on in our world now. What do you think about that?
I've experienced a couple of altered realities. I took a lot of mushrooms this whole like last week. So
you ever see that video? Did I ever show you that video? And it's like a 5-minute video of a man or woman walking around Japan. And they even walk into like a shopping center, but you see all these extra lights, and every once in a while, his altered reality, his AR goggles are the powers coming on and off, or it's like has a kink in it. So it's a tool to show you how the real world looks and how the altered reality would look with these glasses on. So I mean, that's what sucks is like so much of it is going to be advertising. It's just like these sons of bitches advertisements are just going to find their way into your view. You'll have to pay like a premium to not have to see advertisements constantly in your virtual reality. But
oh my God, that's gonna suck.
Right? But I guess it's worth it. How great is it if you go like I thought like if you go to New York, right? You go see a tour of New York, and if you put on these AR glasses, and you could see how it used to look in the 1800s or the 1950s You know, you could go to the area wherever you're looking at, and you could, and they'll tinker with it so it'll just look, and you can rip through 1,000 years. You go to Greece, and you can just go and just kind of see the landscape change, like when you watch those movies of like Time Machine by Orson Welles, right? How dope would that be, right? How
That'd be
cool.
pretty dope.
Those are kind of, that seems so fun. But that's a trip, man. Like, maybe, do you think once you know that we might be like Neo, you know, like Neo in the Matrix, it like took him 2 movies, but like at the end of the second movie, he pulled his power out into the real world, and he was just like bam to those yeah, just like
stop the bullets.
Yeah. And then he stopped those, like, what were those little like squiggly guys, the squigglies attacking him.
The squid, the electric squid.
Yeah, and remember, he was like, "Oh, I could feel them," and she's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I could feel them," and then he turns around, and he's like, "Poof," and then he just zaps him. And then that's in the real world. Maybe that's what we need to do, is almost like a training ground for knowing how much power we actually have as creators. And you get to go into the virtual reality where we're like, redefine our space, and we're like, well, in this room you get to have no gravity or half the gravity, and then you could fuck around with it, and then you have enough you know, like, practice to come into this real world and be like what we call the real world. That's some really weird shit, and I know we're probably talking about this too much, but you know, that's so crazy to think the math of like the odds of us living in a simulation is more probable than this just
absolutely
evolving over hundreds of thousands of years, which makes sense. And then your world goes into that thought of like, you know, like fucking Rick and Morty, where the guy has like a battery of a universe, and it's just infinite. It's like inceptions. Like, how many times am I going to put myself into a video game? You know, like each reality that I go into, I figure out, like, you know, I'm going to create a Sims character that creates a video game, so I can go into a video game in the Sims game, and then I'd be like, would I even be playing that game anymore? Or is it the character that I created playing the game? Maybe that's what's the voice in your head, and that ego. You know, they talk about like ego death, and you know, you have like, you're almost like controlling a little avatar, right? And that's the voice in your head, is like your real Jay Kunis in the non-video game that's playing Jay Kunis, whatever that dude's name is, right? He's playing his version of an Xbox, and you're the character, right? And he's in that voice telling you to go left or right, or smoke a cigarette, or eat another cheeseburger, or tell your mom you love her, right? And you're like, you hear that voice in your head, and sometimes you listen to it and sometimes you don't. And you're almost getting untethered from that guy who's playing you as the video game.
Yeah. I think the guy in my head's name is JQ.
Oh, good. All right, so you got the same name. That's good.
Yeah. He's just a little bit better than I am, but he's a lot more lazier than I am, because he's the one sitting down while I'm doing all the work.
Yeah. He's entertained by you. The thing that scares me, and I've probably said this to you at least you, maybe not the audience, but like, I do think that I always am way better off in my video game person. Like, whatever game I'm playing has more money than me. You know, like Halo, my Halo guy is way more accurate with a gun, and he's definitely in better shape physically, you know? You know, you run around Grand Theft Auto and you're just like, no problem. I mean, there's problems, but it's all, you know, you're definitely doing better in that world than this world.
Side note, did you hear they're making a Halo series? A Halo TV series?
Yeah, television shit? All right, yeah. I'll take it.
Yeah.
I know, you know, I just played, I got a console and I started playing the Halo 4, which is the first one not by Ubisoft, or, you know, like, it's a new brand. I don't know if it's the same. And I feel like that was just like a commercial for the shit that they can do, but this actual game itself was kind of like. At least I played the campaign because I didn't jump online yet. It was fun, but it wasn't nearly as satisfying as all the other Halo games that I've played before.
Yeah.
And I feel like, yeah, they were just kind of like, let's just put something out now that we own the rights and like get something out quick. And then I don't know. I avoid video games because I get so involved in them. And then I played this one. I was like, I was done with it in 2 days. And I was like, whoa. And then I played it again just to see if maybe I missed something. And they were like, nope, this is it.
They're making some weird choices for characters in like these games that are coming out like live action and everything.
Yeah.
So all right. So I don't like who they picked for Uncharted. They're both great actors, I guess, but they're not what I see them as they were in the game. Is I don't know if you ever played the Uncharted game. So
no.
Tom Holland's gonna be Nate and Mark Wahlberg's gonna be Sully.
Okay.
Which is like they're totally do not
bad
look
casting?
like
Yeah.
bad casting. They're also, from what I hear too, they're making the another awesome one of my favorite video games is The Last of Us. They have the guy from Narcos is playing Joel, and it's totally Joel's like this old like rednecky guy, and the guy from Narcos is he's one of the he's a Spanish guy that's short and everything. Totally not cast how I
wait. How short is? I think I've seen Narcos and he didn't seem that short. I feel like that might be a little assumptuous of you, Jay. Saying that
Joel, I think
Spanish
Joel,
people are short.
Joel, the character Joel is like this tall, like rednecky cowboy type guy.
Okay. All right. So, well, listen, I don't know the video game, so I'm going to trust you. We have already now. We're going to have, if just talking to the audience, we're actually getting Stoner Morning Show. We all talk to each other today. Sean's a little under the weather, and Ralph, I don't know what's going on. But it's just me and Jay today. But we're not doing this because we're lazy. We're going to start doing a 1 hour show on Saturdays.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So this is our first show, but we do have our first guest also. And let me see if I can. Oh shit! Did I just lose it? I'm going to let him in. Is Justin St. Denis, who is a comedian here in Bangkok, originally from Canada. And Justin, if you're listening to us, oh, you did. You turned off the mic. Good. All right. But he's a Canadian comic, and he's we've had Ralph Heisen, we've had Chris on the show before, but Justin is the co-host to Raw Comedy. When I got here, they were the only guys running real comedy here in Bangkok, I believe. Even though there were people who were doing comedy, these guys were like doing comedy that I know and love. So I'm happy to introduce Justin. Justin, this is Jake Eunice. We grew up together. He's one of my
what's up, Jason? Nice to meet you. Yeah. Stoner Morning Show. Been a long time.
Yeah, good. Me just talking about it.
I gotta say, for a bunch of stoners, you guys are remarkably well organized. You're doing this intercontinental podcast across opposite time zones. It's very unstoner like of you guys.
Yeah, but we've also
it's so easy. There's almost no effort involved. You sit and you get stoned and you talk to your friends.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's what podcasting's all about.
Yeah. Once we found out that was what podcasting was, we were all about it. We were like, oh, we could do this. Am I frozen to you guys? Like I am?
No, you're fine.
Oh, okay, cool.
You're cold
on my screen.
I'm
frozen. Cool. Yeah, I also have been like, actually, you were there one time, Justin. We went to another comics. Was it his birthday? Worf's birthday, and like 15 minutes into his birthday, I realized I was like, oh, I'm supposed to be doing Stoner Morning Show right now, and I had to text them. So we're not that good. I still fuck up more than most. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and when America does daylight savings time, then it really fucks me over.
Right. Yeah, I like it when it's on the 12. That way it's easy to remember.
Perfect. Yeah. We were talking about before you jumped on we were talking about video games. Do you play video games?
No, not really. Like the last console I played on was Nintendo 64.
No shit.
Wow, nice.
That's that's classic. What was your game?
Right. Yo, Mario. I got 120 stars. And you know what? Do you guys remember that game?
Yeah.
Yeah. The funniest thing, this is I saw my little brother do this, and he was about 6 years old when he did this. But there's the one star where you gotta like you save the baby penguin and then you bring it to the mom penguin, and then the penguin gives you a star. But what you do is the star pops out, and then you can take the little penguin, throw it off the cliff, and then go get the star.
Yeah,
and I saw my brother when he was like 6, and I was like, what kind of future serial killer is this? But yeah, like the thing with video games these days for me, it's like they're too involved. Like you got to learn forever. It's like a big time and commitment investment. Like you got to get good at it. And like I don't know how to point the gun. And I'm like, and the storyline is all intricate. I'm like, I just want to chill. Like I'm not trying to do this work right now.
It's very true. That's why it's one of the reasons why I stopped playing as much too. But I started.
I still like that shit.
Yeah, I know. Jay got me back into him when I crashed at his place in North Carolina. I played. You had everything, but I had the PlayStation Spider-Man. And if you give me a chance to be Spider-Man, I'm gonna take it. I fucking love Spider-Man so much. I love swing. I just like swinging. That's really what it comes down to.
You do.
Yeah, he would be a fun superhero to be for sure.
Right?
Because he's always had the wisecracks and everything in the comics. He's always been the funniest. But I guess that comes with like being a teenage kid, right?
Yeah,
of course. Like Superman is not funny at all because he's got grown-up shit to deal with.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you know what the thing that annoys me most about Superman is he's a big fat liar. He's always going around and like it seems like that's what causes most of his. I mean, I watched a lot of Smallville, but those guys were all liars, and that's what Superman.
Well, you got it. It's for the greater good, right?
Yeah, that's what they tell themselves. That's what I tell all my girlfriends.
What I don't get about Superman, that's why I'm lying. It's for the greater good, baby.
It's for the greater good.
Yeah, that's some serious pimp game. Like if she buys it too, that's money. Yeah. But what I was gonna say about Superman is his disguise is the dumbest thing ever. He just puts glasses on and then he's Clark Kent, and nobody like, hey, you look a lot like Superman. Like nobody puts 2 and 2 together. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, they in like more modern times they kind of like they say it's like some not like magical kind of thing that's happening too. It's more than just like glasses, but it's so shitty. It is. It's such a shitty excuse. You know when they first made Superman they didn't invent kryptonite. I was going to just say they didn't invent kryptonite. It was a radio show. And so this guy was completely unstoppable. And then the voice actor wanted to take a vacation. So like they had to invent something so that he can take off for 2 weeks, but still keep the show going so they could make money. So he got sick on kryptonite. And it was a big deal.
Seems like they wrote this thing backwards. Like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, how do you not have a problem? Like he can do everything and he's fucking invincible.
Yeah. This is
like, wait a minute. We're gonna run out of story ideas pretty.
Yeah, you would think, right? I know.
Maybe is Superman like the first ever superhero?
I guess technically, I don't know. I honestly don't know, but I mean,
I have friends that would know.
Yeah. Man, Jay, I thought you were my friend that would know.
No, I don't think he was. No, I don't know. Maybe he was.
I'll tell you, I was disappointed. Like I thought Batman was a ripoff of Zorro, and then I found out that because I'm Puerto Rican, even though I'm not Mexican, I have an affinity for him. And then I found out that Zorro was a ripoff of Batman. That's the best they could do.
Yeah,
once you already have
cultural
Batman,
appropriation.
Yeah, it's like they're like, let's just put him back
Mexican
100
Batman.
years. Yeah, exactly. Some bullshit.
Batman to me is my favorite superhero because he doesn't actually have any powers. He's just like a baller who knows like
he just gets shit
his
done.
power is being rich.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you remember a decade ago when we all thought, like, when Elon Musk started drilling under Los Angeles, we were like, oh, he's Batman. He's gonna be Batman. And now he just fucks with my cryptocurrency.
Right.
This motherfucker. That's all he does now. Brings his rich friends to Mars. Yeah.
Somebody was saying it's like a meme going around Facebook from like socialists, but they were like, Batman was a billionaire. He could have just like given money to people and fixed like the social problems in the city instead of just going around kicking ass.
Yeah, but he's so angry.
True.
He was angry too. You know, They forget he was so angry
because they killed his parents, right? So, right. So he's got to get that revenge on all the criminals.
Yeah, maybe he could have just split the difference. You know, it would have been nice. I think they do try to, dabble in that. He's always helping out orphans and shit like that. But I feel like Bruce Wayne shouldn't be allowed to be called an orphan because, like, sure, his parents died, but like he didn't have to, like, he didn't lose his house. He got to stay with Alfred. He got an instant like pseudo father and even a better father because the father loved him, but he also had to do whatever he was like an employee. Like I would love if my dad was my employee, you know. That's like I'm not.
But you can't fire your son though if he sucks.
No, but you could fire your dad. That's the good thing. Like at any point, Alfred could have got fired. You know, that would have been nice to hold that over my dad. Just let him know that.
Right.
You know, listen. There's 10 other guys.
You're saying because like Alfred was like his surrogate father.
Yes.
But also his employee.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So he had that
with great power.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
What do you think, Justin? Just talking about, I know you're not a Giants owner, but you've also been in Bangkok a long time. Do you think that do you see it getting normalized here with all the, like, with pizza company putting it on their pizza?
I just seen that. I just read that story.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it'll definitely be like they should legalize it and it would help the tourism sector recover. So it would be a smart decision for the country.
Yeah. I wonder
if it is being normal. I like Thai weed because it's shitty. Right.
Yes.
And people always complain, but I like the shittiness of it because I'm not a big weed smoker. Like I spent all of high school, I was a stoner, like smoking 3 times a day. Like I spent, ages 14 to 17 high the entire time. And then I kind of got sick
did
of
your
it.
time.
And now I just kind of dabble. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But now, like, I don't want to have psychosis. I just want to enjoy the movie. So that's why I like Thai weed because it's so like not strong. Like it's all stems and sticks and not sticky at all. But but that's my shit. I actually like it.
I would definitely, if they package this in cigarettes and I could just buy it as a cigarette and just walk around and smoke that, and then when I wanted to get high, smoke real weed, that would be great. Instead of smoking like tobacco, because I like the action. Right. I like the action, but I want to quit smoking cigarettes. But I want
what I would like to do is because weed got legalized in Canada while I was here. Mm-hmm. And I know like you can go to the weed shop and be like, hey, listen, I want this kind of high. I want just a nice buzz that's mellow. I don't want to be fucking freaking out about the universe.
Yeah.
So that would be convenient. So like, I don't know if I would get like the whatever sativa or.
Sativa would be better for you. What if weed is legal in Canada? Do they have like Canadian hockey teams that like? Is there any advocates for marijuana in hockey world?
No.
Yeah, there are.
It has to be, right? I would think. but I don't know.
I can't think of one.
I'll tell you,
I would know this if there was one.
Yeah. Do you think, like, I wonder, like, I would think if I was a Toronto Raptor, I don't know how I wouldn't not be trying to sell weed. I wonder if it's in like you know what I'm saying? Like like Toronto, you got a basketball team. The brothers love playing, like smoking weed. I'm wondering if, and I know like NBA stopped looking at.
This is for you're kind of cutting out, Lex. I don't know if Jason can hear you properly, but you're freezing a bit.
I think my internet sucks here.
Oh, does it? Oh,
I don't know.
What were you trying to say, Lex?
I didn't. I stopped talking when Justin did, but I'm gonna bounce out for 1 second and then jump back in.
All right. Hey, Justin.
Something along the lines of, I think he was saying black guys like smoking weed.
Yes, that's true. That's a fact. That is a fact. I know black people and I know weed, and I'm saying for sure, that's true.
And they're fond of each other.
Yeah.
But like, you know how weed is legal in a bunch of states, but illegal in others. So what's the deal with athletes? Like, are they allowed to smoke weed now?
I do believe the NBA doesn't test anymore.
Yes, that's what I heard.
I think it's still illegal in the NFL. Although they won't, like, I think you're allowed to do it on like your off season or something like that, but you're not like during play.
I bet you they're just not testing for it.
Right.
That's basically what it is. And then I would think also, my guess would be if I was like, say, the Giants or like even let's say Denver Broncos, right? It's probably in their contract, like, don't be stupid, and I don't want to, don't be seen in public with it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, right. And I would bet you like a limit on if you could endorse it and shit like that. Because that's the thing. That's what I was thinking. If I was a basketball player, especially if I was like a 12th, like the bench guy, like the 12th man, I'd be selling weed. That's what I would do. If I was a 12th man on an NBA team, I would be all about selling weed. I'd be surprised if they're not right now. You know, like a side hustle.
Ricky Williams should get into that.
Yeah, right. Latrell Sprewell sold.
I gotta look this up and see if there are anybody selling. Oh, hey, it's done month though.
Use your clout. You use your clout. If I was Seth Rogen, I just saw Seth Rogen.
Fuck Gatorade and Nike and shit. I'm doing commercials for weed.
That's right. I would be all about
that. That would be hilarious.
Don just sent this to me, and he said it's a picture of and it says an arrangement was voted in March of last year. Still states that players will be subject to testing once training camps have started in late July, but the NFL has changed the threshold of what would produce a positive test from 35 nanograms to 150, and players will not be hit with suspensions or that to test positive.
You know how much millions of dollars Randy Moss lost?
What's the point of testing if there's no so stupid
repercussions? Yeah, it's probably for their sponsorship and bullshit. Dude, how much money Randy Moss got caught smoking weed, and they were like, oh, he got caught twice. And so that's why he got, like, went in the second or third round or whatever. Think about that. Like, the greatest wide receiver of all times didn't go. He was considered, he was the best talent in that draft pool. And they had some good draft. But he got caught smoking weed. And he was in, like, a minor school. And so all of a sudden, nobody wanted him. It's amazing. And Ricky Williams too. Ricky Williams was an advocate. He was actually like, yeah, I smoke weed. And they were like, and then just boom, millions of dollars lost.
But he basically said, fuck it. I'm just going to smoke weed and not play football anymore.
I love that guy.
Doug Stanhope had a genius bit about it. He basically said, fuck it, I'd rather be high. And then he's like, what you should have done is suited up in full gear and got season tickets and then just be like right behind the bench, high as fuck. And every little like hilarious 3rd and 1 situation, just be like, hey, you guys could have
I'm right here.
You don't want
right
the guy.
Here.
Yeah, exactly.
Lex, Who's the guy that threw the no hitter on acid?
Oh, that's all the way back in the 70s. Clemens. I kind of want to say Clemens, not Roger Clemens. Wait,
but that story is awesome.
Yeah, Lemon. I don't know, but yeah, isn't that amazing?
No, he's got a cool baseball name.
Yeah,
he's got a cool baseball name.
Oh, by the way,
it's Doc Ellis.
Doc Ellis, of course. That is a great. Oh man, Doc Ellis. Jay, do you know who Otoa? What's his name? The Japanese baseball player you love. Justin.
Yeah, Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei Ohtani. Do you know of him? Is this his first major league season, Justin? Or was it last year?
No, it's his third season. So it's his third season this year. He was rookie of the year, but then he was out most of last year, and it was COVID shortened season anyway.
Yeah.
And he had like a fucked up elbow, so he got Tommy John surgery. So this year was like his first real year. And yeah, he's a pitcher and a hitter, and he excels at both. Super fun to watch. And he's just super Japanese about his shit, like going around bowing to everybody and like picking up trash and just like
that's the
he
stuff
just like
I love.
loves
awesome.
Playing the game, and you can tell he's just like a kid having fun. So it's like super infectious.
That's the stuff I didn't know until you started telling me about it and fanboarding. Jay, he'll like bow to the umpire and right at the beginning of the game, and if he hits a home run, he like apologizes or some shit, right? Yeah. Super Japanese about it. All their unwritten rules in Japan. He brought it over here. It's adorable.
I don't really hear any of that. Sound like
who's he playing
90s
for?
dial-up internet right now.
It's he plays for the Anaheim Angels. Justin, I was saying
the LA Angels.
Oh, LA now. Justin, I was saying, what are the kind of Japanese things that he does, like the bowing to the umpire? Did you hear me?
I could hear you.
Yeah, like every at bat, he kind of gives a little bow to the opposing catcher and the ump.
I'm gonna look him up. What's his name again?
And then like when he hits home runs, Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah. When he hits home runs, he apologizes.
Pretty much, like he'll kind of like nod at the guy, like, "Yeah, sorry, I'm too good." It's also just sick to watch. I'm not even really that big of a baseball guy, but it's just I like it. This past season was just historic. Like he's doing stuff that hasn't been done since Babe Ruth, which kind of means it's never been done because back then it was only white guys.
Exactly. Plus, they say Babe Ruth might have had a little black in it too, so he might have slipped it in. He might have been the man.
So asterisk on all those stats.
Yep.
Technically, he wasn't allowed.
Yeah,
one drop rule.
Man, that would have been baller. Babe Ruth. I think he has one of the best quotes ever in sports. Was when they asked him about him getting paid more than the president, and he said he's having a better year. Best sports quote ever.
They asked him because he struck out a lot. And so his average wasn't great. So they asked him something about that. And he was like, well, if I was trying to hit those dinky singles, I could have a much higher average, but I'm trying to go yard.
Yeah. It's dope where you like, he was so good that everybody still calls, like they'll say he's like the reference to if you're really good at something. It's him and Einstein. It's like, that guy's
you're
Einstein.
The Babe Ruth of. Yeah.
You're the Babe Ruth of whatever you're doing. Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
What was cool about back in the day, what was not cool was the racism. But what was cool is it was so much less like good players would stand out a lot more because it wasn't as scientific as it is today. Like I was actually reading this article about Shohei Ohtani, and like they track his hours of sleep. He's got like a diet based on his blood work, and this is like common for athletes in all major sports. and it's like they're all on crazy like training regimens, and it's super like optimized scientifically, and you're eating healthy and all of this shit. Whereas like Babe Ruth, like he'd go out and get hammered the night before and have like a steak dinner.
Yeah, they're smoking cigars in the bullpen. You know, they're just sitting there smoking and chewing tobacco and drinking. Mickey Mantle was notorious for that jazz, you know? Oh, I got a story about Mickey Mantle and my dad being a pussy. My dad he used to sell insurance, and he won. What is this? Oh,
this is Shohei. Him ripping out of the dome.
Yeah, he hits monster home runs.
He's a big dude. One of the things that I really like about Shohei is that he's a good-looking, like he's a sex symbol, and I want to see more Japanese sex symbols. They're badass dudes, and like America sucked the sexuality out of
it. Yeah, really enough love.
You sounded choppy to me this time. All right. So one story. So my father had a trip that he won from Allstate to go into the city and stay at this hotel in like right across from the central the park. Anyway, man, I am so high right now. I haven't said that during the show in a long time.
Right across from the, what you call it, the central park.
The park. Yeah, Central Park. The park. And so they were at a nice restaurant, and Mickey Mantle has a restaurant right there.
Mickey Mantle's.
Yeah, and so, but they were at a different restaurant, and my mom and dad are trying to have this like dinner, and these three guys are like cursing up a storm, and my mom and dad being all like annoyingly Christian, they were not having a good time. So finally, my mom was like, "You got to say something to these guys," and my dad went to go say something, and it was Mickey Mantle and two of his friends, and then my dad just like clammed up, didn't say shit about talking dirty or anything like that. He was just like, "Oh my God, you guys are Mickey Mantle." And you guys are Mickey Mantle. I'm an idiot. And then the guy was like, and so I was like a little kid, but Mickey Mantle was nice enough to, he actually apologized for cursing. He brought it up, and then he signed a couple autographs for me. But I like that story because my dad pushed out on telling a man to stop cursing in front of his wife. I held no animosity towards that man. Apparently I did.
I'm not sure if Justin froze up.
Yeah, if Justin hears us, we don't hear you.
Or he's just looking at us angry.
Fair enough. Well, I don't mind. Let's see where we're at. Oh, it's weird because usually, you have a gut feeling with this. The 2 hours, you kind of like. I think I've gotten so used to it, but we're already like 15 minutes left in the show.
Well, if Justin's still around and he wants to plug anything, I don't know what's been going on in has Thailand been?
Let me promote. I'll do some promoting for Justin himself. He is honestly one of the best comics here, and right now, I honestly think I don't know what he was doing during COVID because we haven't been able to do as many shows or practice. But like Justin, to me, as we're just starting to open up, we've done 2 shows, and he killed it. He just absolutely killed it. It was just so good. And he's already been one of my best friends here. But like right now, currently, I hope he's starting to get some stuff out. He works for Bangkok Edition, which is like an online magazine that he's done some promo stuff for. But if you want to look up his name, it's Justin spelled normal. His last name is spelled Saint, ST period, Denis, DENIS. And I'm sure he has some stuff out there. But he is so funny, and some of the bits are like I'm not going to do it justice, but it's such an original idea that I haven't seen, and I just love it in this world. Is he talks about because we call ourselves expats here, we're expats, but we call people who move into America immigrants. Like I'm an immigrant is what I am, right now. If I stay here for a little bit and I only came here to do some work, I'm a migrant worker. I'm a migrant worker, right? that's what I am, but we call ourselves expats to make ourselves feel better, like we're still better than somebody else doing the same stuff. And I love it. People come in here. Like I saw this email under some forum that I'm on, like expats of Bangkok, and this guy is like, "Hey, I'm moving here from England because I'm just sick of all the Muslims. They're just changing my culture and all that." And I'm like, so now he's gonna move into one. There's a shit ton of Muslims here, but also like now you're just moving into their culture. Like you're straight up just moving in. I don't know why it's more acceptable here than over there. But also I just doubt he's going to be one of those guys who's going to be very accommodating. And there are some, like there's 1 out of 10 people here who are just like, they come here and they don't actually acclimate or embrace the culture. They like complain about it, but they also don't live where they come from. So it's so silly to me. Very funny.
Really?
Yeah.
Justin's back with us.
Oh, cool.
Or he might be frozen. I don't know. So what I know we're getting hit again with like the Omicron strain, and,
Yes.
and we're mask mandated again, pretty much in New York City, or New York State. And so are you guys going through anything like that now? I know a lot of schools are going back to virtual learning and everything too.
No, over here they kind of just opened it. Like I heard recently that they're offering a booster shot if we want it. I know that the vaccination rate's pretty good here, and people are getting it. Our numbers of who's catching it is like I know the biggest now I look at is deaths, but I think it's usually like catching it is still in the thousands, but it's always less than the people who are recovering. So they're on top of that in that way. The deaths are in double digits now. So I think the lowest I've seen in the last like couple weeks is like 24, and the highest is like 50. So somewhere around that range is usually what we have, and of deaths. So it's pretty. I mean, the Asian people are pretty good about wearing masks. They don't argue or complain about it. I still see all the there's a lot of the expats and people, those kind of people complaining. I don't know. I was just at Khao San. That's why I got on just in time, because I went down to Khao San Road, which is that busy road, and they were pretty busy. And there was a lot more tourists than I had seen in a year there. Wow. So, yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Justin? I was just telling him I was down in Khao San like an hour ago. And there's a shit ton of white people there. I think you're choppy, Justin. Jay, did you hear that smooth? Yeah, no. We didn't hear you. Sorry. All right. Justin, if it does clear, we'll give you a shot at plugging something. But other than that, I think we might be done.
Yeah. You got anything coming up?
Yeah. Okay.
Soon?
Fair enough.
Sorry.
It's just
back. Now it's
well. We got Raw Comedies back on finally.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're going to be
finally podcasting. Back. So every Wednesday, 8 p.m. We'll be doing the Raw Comedy Asia podcast as well. You can get it on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, everywhere you get your podcast. And
what's that online?
Hopefully, like other things are gonna.
Sorry, I was gonna say, what's that? Is it Bangkok edition? What is the online magazine thing that you have that solo work?
Yeah, right. BKK edition. So it's not just me; it's my whole company, but it's like a side project that we do.
Yeah, but you have a couple good videos on there. That's what I figured.
It's my company. It's a marketing company, and we have like stuff. It's just kind of like I get to. It's pretty cool. Our tagline is Bangkok beneath the surf. As are you not catching any of this, or?
It's a little choppy.
The end.
Yeah, it got better again. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are. I can't hear most of what you're saying either. It's kind of frustrating, and I'm
Sorry.
not even high,
Yes.
and this is making me feel. Yeah.
Frustrating. All right, we'll have you on again.
It's my internet's being shitty.
It is.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't feel bad about it. But it's all right. I'm glad that you finally got on, and hopefully people check you out. And this is the first time we're doing only an hour, so it's a little different, and it's just me and Jay. So don't sweat it. We're just fucking around. And
all right, cool.
But we do have a great audience.
I'll be back with better internet and more weed.
Powerful.
Thanks, Don, Samantha, Valerie, everybody else.
Samantha's birthday too. I want to give a shout out to Samantha B. It's her birthday
Happy
today.
birthday.
I think it was it. Yeah. So happy birthday, Set.
Happy birthday, Samantha.
Check us out on all medias, and let's also send out to the universe that Sean Wickens feels a little bit better. Oh. All right.
Wow.
All right.
Well, that's it, buddy.
Right, then we'll end it. Justin, thanks for joining us, and we'll jump off.
Yeah,
I'll see you.
Thanks for having me.
See you this week. All right, Jay, I love you.
See you,
brother.
All right, peace out.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Peace.